Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Moving into the Future. Today, we are joined by Diego Feo from Arenson Office Furnishing, and we're going to have a conversation around augmented reality in the workplace and how Arenson has been helping clients with technology solutions through the pandemic. Diego, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is a really exciting conversation because, Diego and I have worked together before. We had a client last year who we worked on a really, really interesting project together with and needed technology solutions because this was during the time where everything was shut down. And Diego is incredibly talented at what he does. So it's going to be a very excited conversation today. And, Diego, just to add some depth, you are from Colombia.
Yes, so I'm originally from Colombia. I grew up there drawing the New York skyline. I was like, okay, I want to be there when I grow up. And back in 2010 is when I decided, you know what, let's do it. I had the opportunity to come here during the summer to work at an amusement park. So I did that for 5 years. So I came here during the summers and then went back there. That way I helped pay my college. And then in 2015 was when I was like, you know what? I love it there. I think I have a shot to do it. Let's do it. And what helped me was my mom saying, I don't see you happy here back in Colombia. You do it.
That's
Why
awesome.
not? Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah. That's really great. So then, you were working at the amusement park, and that's where you got your start in graphic design there, right? Managing the social?
Yep, you're right. So the last time that I went there, I was very good friends with the person that managed the team back then. And I asked, hey, can I do my internship here during the summer? That will really help me to get a job down there in Colombia. It was like, why not? You've been with us for a while. Let's give it a try. So I did my first graphic design, doing more like social media stuff for them for a little bit. And then what I did was after I moved here back in 2015, after a little bit, I found a job at a gym in New York City. So it was funny because I started as a front desk person, and then I became very good friends with the manager of the gyms. And we were talking one day, and he was like, what else do you do? I'm like, well, I studied graphic design and advertising. I was like, oh, cool. Do you want to try doing this and that? I'm like, let's see, why not? And ever since, it just picked up. He loved the stuff that I was doing. I really felt comfortable doing the stuff that I was doing. I had a lot of opportunity to do what I wanted because it was a company that didn't have much graphic stuff before. So it was something that I was, this is your role. Go ahead, grow it to, where you want to do.
Right. And and that's the fun part about it is how, creative you can be with it. Oh, and, very, very dynamic. And I was in a similar position in moving where, I just kind of fell into it, and it was the same thing. Just go and figure it out. And it's allotted me a lot of opportunities. What do you think it is you like, most about graphic design and what you do? Is it the creative process, or is it the structure surrounding graphic design? What is it you like the most?
So I've been thinking about this lately a lot. Originally, I studied all related to something personal. Again, I studied food engineering. So
right.
I started with engineering. I had a lot of bases in logics, programming, things like that. And then after that, I realized that was not my thing. I wanted something more creative that I didn't have to do the same thing every day. Then I moved to graphic design. So I like from graphic design that you need to have an structure. So you have a page or you have whatever you have is blank, but you need to have a structure to put things in there.
Right.
And also, I like the freedom that, as I say, I can do not the same thing every time.
Right.
So I don't get bored doing what I do. That's the main point. Because I will really, really dislike doing the same thing every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, nothing bad about that.
Right.
But, it's different mindsets for different people.
Absolutely. And it's completely understandable. And I certainly, see why you would approach things that way. Again, that's one of the things I like about, what I do is, every opportunity, every client is kind of new and interesting and unique. So that's what really makes it fun. So, you were at the gym for a couple years and then you eventually wound up at Arenson?
A year and a half, I will say.
Yeah.
And then I really wanted to work on something that was related with architecture.
Okay.
So that's when Arenson came. And I always will remember that the day that I was interviewing at Arenson, that day I was working out in the morning and I was listening to Lose Yourself. Just let's get it.
In the
zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so glad I got the job.
Yeah. And I think we've all been there where, Lose Yourself has been the, song of the day to get us, to focus on the task at hand.
Absolutely. That really got me through that.
Right. Yeah. Right. And what was it about architecture that made you want to get into that field? Is it the design aspect of it, or what exactly drew you towards that?
I would say it relates to the structure.
Yeah.
I like things that are structure but have nice design. Something like Bauhaus from back in the day, something like that. So architecture, I feel, has that, but also the freedom of doing new things.
Right.
Like improving all the time.
Right.
So you're not going to see two things that are the same in architecture.
Exactly.
But you always have to follow, certain rules and certain structure.
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense. And that's why, your role at Arenson is, very interesting and very unique, because Arenson does, offer these creative solutions, but all around the structure of the office space, or retail space. And I could see why that's very interesting. So when you started at Arenson, and I'm sure your role has really developed over the years, what were you doing initially? What was the main function of your role when you started?
So I started as a marketing coordinator. I did that for over a year and a half, I will say. Basically, it was learning how the brand worked, learn the brand, improving things here and there. And then after that, it was more when I had the freedom of trying new things. I'll say not just but Arenson likes to bring new things to the table.
Yes.
And we're aligned to that. So, if we research something and we say, how we can apply to that, all right, research it. Let's do it. Why not? So we started by, researching new technology for things here and there. And as you were saying, actually, no client is the same.
Right.
So something I really like from what we do is that we strategize for every client. So even if the smallest job to the biggest job, we strategize. So we sit down in a meeting or Zoom right now, and we say, okay, so what does this client want, and how we can approach that client so we can impress and fulfill their needs. As we did with the project that we did together.
Absolutely. And that's what I was going to say is, that's why Arenson and the Advanced Group work so well together, because we take that same approach, obviously in different arenas, where with Arenson and furniture and design, and the Advanced Group more so in the logistical aspect of that. But, we have the same conversation as, how can we help this client's space function more efficiently? Through technology solutions, and whether that be, warehouse inventory management, or, certain project management tools that we can use to work together. We always look for those efficiencies. So, I think we share that aspect of, client relationships and solutions for them. What type of technology solutions are you finding that are, that you like the most, that interest you the most, and are most interesting to the Arenson clients?
So we have a lot of technology.
You do.
I don't want to bore you with all the nitty gritty of them, but I'll give you an overall overview of what we have. So we have things that, during the pandemic, we knew that we had to reinvent ourselves. We have to help the community. So we couldn't just be doing the same thing that we were doing before. So something that we have is the ability to do test fits on the go kind of thing. So we can show the client, hey, this is how the space might look. Or let's move this here, let's move this there in a matter of seconds. And this is how the space might look. So that's one of the technologies that we have there, have a lot of track that the clients really like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. And like, that can get even as, specific to like showing different colors of furniture and like, even different spacing and numbers and quantities and all sorts of very, very cool, interesting stuff, all under the Arenson umbrella. So these are all, furniture solutions that Arenson offers directly. That's really, really cool. And, I've seen it in action and it's incredibly neat. And again, it can be done on the fly. So if you're having this virtual meeting with a client where, let's say Arenson is located in New York, and this client could be anywhere, Los Angeles, Texas, even international, they can do live updates and really show what the office looks like. And I'm not sure 100%, but like, can't you even show like out the window, like what they see out the window? Yeah, exactly.
We can do all of that. Yeah.
Right. That's like so cool.
Absolutely. And to add to your point, Jack, is that we're a furniture office company, but we like to create experiences.
Right.
So when we show something like that, when we involve a client and we help them develop a space, that person is going to have an experience. It's like, okay, help create my own space. So they're going to go to Arenson after that because they help creating the experience. We gave them the experience, and at the end, after the process, we gave them the space they wanted.
Right.
Something else that we've been researching and we've been really into lately is augmented reality.
Of course.
So that is, as I say, the way of the future.
I think so.
It's something that is very exciting. It's in the early stages, but as we say, we like to research everything. So that's something else that we've been researching here and there.
Yeah, certainly. And I agree with augmented reality being, the way of the future and is going to be a very practical solution to this new frontier of people working from anywhere, using augmented reality to meet. And even if we are in two different places, feel like we're there together. We just saw Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg released their, augmented reality, where it's essentially a VR set that you put on, and regardless of where you're sitting, it brings you to that virtual conference room. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's going to be widely used in the future, or, because you've done the research on it, what are your predictions for the future on that?
I think we are at a very early stage. This generation is still used to have this physical touch, the physical interaction. We are getting into things like what Facebook released, that you sit down in your home, you sit down on your couch, put your headset, and then you're right there surrounded with a lot of people that have the same headset in their homes, and you're having a virtual meeting. I think that is going to be the future. There is this talk about what is called the Metaverse, which is everything is going to be virtual.
Right.
So everything will happen in a virtual thing. NVIDIA is a big leader on that right now. So it is exciting to see how it is going to evolve. I'm not sure we're there yet for having a full application, like a full, let's say, office just going virtual that way. I'm not sure we're there yet, but 15, 20 years from now, we might be.
You think it's going to take that long?
I think it's going to take a while.
Okay.
I think there's going to be some pushback. Like everything's going to be a pushback, but it's going to be their way, this way, this way.
I think we could see it sooner than that. And you know what else I think is going to be interesting too is in the sense of test fits. Like, right now we're doing them virtually on the computer where, you're able to provide those real-time updates with the test fits and walk clients through the space. But I wonder if there's going to be a time where you can provide them with a virtual headset, and then they're walking through the space on there as well.
We actually can do that already.
You can do that already.
Yeah,
See?
so that's something that we can do now. And to merge that with augmented reality, something that you can do with that is, let's say you have somebody that just starts and it's a big, big, big office. So what you can do with augmented reality is what you can do with Google Street View,
Right.
which is that you scan around and you can walk and tell you directions. Oh, the bathroom is that way. Oh, these people sits that way. So you can do that with, eventually you will be able to do that with augmented reality too. So it has a lot of applications, because also you can create a virtual office.
Right.
You scan and then we can have something here.
Right.
So that's some other application you can do with that.
Yeah, because have you used like the Oculus technology before, the Facebook Oculus, which is like their VR headset?
I looked into that. I started it.
Yeah.
But again, like the technology is evolving.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very much in its infancy stages. Like I've used it too for like you can go on Google Maps there, and like I think I might have even gone to Colombia. Through it, and took a walk around like Bogota or something like
right.
that.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very cool in that regard, and how that's offered as a solutions to clients, I think is going to be very, very interesting, because now you've been at Arenson how long? 3 years?
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 years. Think about even from the time you started there to what you were doing when you started, and how much has even evolved in that short period. And now, because of the pandemic, a lot of that evolution is being accelerated. So it's going to be fascinating to know what's to come next. What other type of technology solutions is Arenson's offering that have become very helpful as part of that experience? Because it's so important that the office now, especially coming out of the pandemic where we've proven that we can work from anywhere, how has Arenson helped improve that office experience for clients?
So we have another tool that we have is something that we like to write code.
Yeah.
So that's
Do you code?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Not an
It's hard.
expert. A little bit. It is not as easy. The logic part of it in food engineering, that helps me a lot. So if is if, then if is applied, yeah. So that's my brain just working sometimes, being like, how we're gonna do that? But then I'm like, okay, we'll find a way to do it. So something that we do is we have like a dashboard where people can see different things about their office. So that's something that you can access through your phone, you can access on your computer, you can access everywhere. And that's something that we code, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, but at the end of the day, I'll always remember when we presented this idea to a client, is the person, I like, it was kind of like the iPad, the iPhone when it was being released.
Right.
That the engineers didn't know if Steve Jobs, if iPhone was gonna work.
Right.
I was like that, like, oh, please work. But then when we presented, the client was playing with it, and he said something I will never forget, and he's like, stuff like this is what sets you apart.
Right.
That really made our day. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. And because stuff like that is that we got that project.
Yep.
So, another tool that right there.
Exactly. And that's so important to improving the client experience and the employee experience and everything of that nature. So, one of the cool parts about augmented reality is that we are in the infancy of this, and, where we can go with it is pretty exponential. I know we've spoken about it, and there's other trades and industries already using augmented reality, for different purposes. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I've researched it, and I've seen that, for example, some doctors are using augmented reality to train themselves on how to do open heart surgery. That is amazing.
That is incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible. And something else that I've seen is in construction, Microsoft has, I forgot the name of it, but Microsoft has something where it tells an engineer, oh, this is there, this is there, this is there, this is the measurement of this piece in the field.
Wow.
So it has it there. It's like it is pretty cool what they can do right now.
Yeah, that's incredible. And, again, how that begins to mesh and innovate into our world
Oh
is
yeah.
going to be so, so interesting to see because, like, designing a space in real time through augmented reality and then testing that space through a test fit, again, through augmented reality, designers and architects can ask themselves, how does this look here? Is this piece functional there? And what that's going to do is save money for one thing because they're not going to have to test, so many different pieces or of furniture or whatever component it may be. But then also, it's really going to help probably improve the employee experience because they've been through so many different augmented reality tests that that data will help them better understand what's going to be most functional and appreciated in the space. So that's very, very cool.
Absolutely, and not only that, I imagine being as used as a training tool.
Right.
So when an employee onboarding, here you have it's your helmet. Go to your workstation, and when you're in your workstation, everything will pop up. This is for that. This is for that. This is for that. This is how you use it. So things that are gonna come are pretty amazing. We're researching as much as we could, and I wish I can push more, push more. But there's just much you can do with the current technology. So.
Yeah, absolutely. What other tools? Not so much, even from the Arenson side, but just technology tools in general. Do you think are going to be helpful for employees to reacclimate to the workplace?
I think having maybe what is Matterport kind of thing to see how their space has changed, if they make any changes in their office. That might be something that might help people to go back to the office because there's a lot of people that misses the office, but we're through this. We don't know where we're heading right now, so there's some hesitancy to come back to the office. But stuff like that shows you, oh, that's the place that I used to work.
Right.
Like I would love to go there. I wanted to go back to the office as soon as I could. So as soon as they say, hey, you can go back, I was like, I'm there.
Yeah.
But not everybody's the same way. Like some people are more hesitant to do that. So having that visual of how the space is might help bring people back.
Yeah, I think that is going to be important as far as how have companies improved their spaces to be more appealing, whether it is through new furniture or new technology solutions. I think that's going to be very key. And as a matter of fact, right before you, we had Laura on, who is from a company called Density that offers like space utilization and space occupancy tools. So again, that partners with Arenson's technology in terms of obviously Arenson showing how the space could function with these different reconfigurations of furniture on the fly, stuff like that. Once those decisions are made, Density helps show in real time how is that space being used. Why are employees using this type of conference room instead of that one? Is it the furniture in there? Is it the spacing? Do they have more collaborative tools in there? And I'm not sure, this might have been a question for Kevin, but, do you know of any furniture solutions that like Arenson's offering that are a little bit more technologically adaptable? Like, for example, I know a lot of companies are looking for furniture that has power and adapters already built in. And stuff like that. So that way, again, employees can plug right in and get to work doing whatever they need to do.
So we have developed something like that. So we have these, we call it the kits of parts. So we give you a cluster, but we also give you a kits of parts, the things that you can put in that cluster, and how can you transform it to adapt it to whatever your needs are. So let's say you have 5 people there this week, but then you're going to have 6 people in the entire cluster. So you can transform that, and it's not heavily involved into bytes that I mean, you don't have to order in brand new furniture to do that. You can just pick from the parts that we have for you and we can, contact you guys and redo the cluster to whatever the needs are.
Exactly. So it's essentially like, a Chinese food menu where you go in,
Exactly.
and you
Yep.
pick a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Right.
And then, Arenson can deliver it. Or, well, actually, technically, the advanced group is delivering it and installing it. But, Arenson is helping with the design. And
we'll help alongside the architect.
Yeah, correct.
So, we help them. Hey, we also have this and that solution for that. Definitely, they're the head. But we help guide them if they have any questions for that.
Yeah, that's so neat. And again, as the workspace, office space continues to evolve, solutions like that, again, are really helping with a very prominent and relevant client need. So that's very, very cool. What other, are there any other technologies that interest you, whether that do be in graphic design or anything in the workplace that you find very interesting and are interested to see how they continue to evolve in the future?
Sure. I think what you mentioned about the insights of the workspace.
Right.
That's something that is very interesting. So data-driven decisions.
Right.
So you see how people utilize this space, and then you might need to take it away, or you might need to get more space because people are using it too much. That's something that is very interesting to do. And the cool thing is that we have the tools to help clients track that information and then help them make that decision. So it's not just a blinded decision. Okay, I'm seeing too many people here. I need more space. It's like, no, wait a second. So these are the metrics. These are the days that are being used. So this is what we can do. We can get this space instead of that. We can get this furniture instead of that. There you go.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that is a very, very interesting technology to see how it develops because, again, nobody knows coming out of this how employees are going to use space now. So to have that data and then these solutions are going to be very valuable to companies. And then not to, pivot too far, but I love travel, and I love to experience different cultures in different areas of the world. I've been lucky to see quite a few different countries, but one place I have not been yet is Colombia.
Oh, please. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Anytime. If I tell my mom that you're going to go there, please stay here. She's going to bring you breakfast every day. That's the way she is.
Where are you from again in Colombia?
Bogota.
You are from Bogota,
Bogota.
yeah. And it's beautiful there, huh?
Yeah, I love it. I miss it sometimes. Sometimes I'm here like, I want to go back there. When it's too cold and it's too warm here, I'm like, I really want to go there. We have like 60 degrees every day.
Yeah.
So that's every day of the year. It doesn't matter. December or June, 60 degrees. So sometimes I wish I was like, okay, I can take a trip back.
I could use that today, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's very nice. So that I'll definitely let you know because I do want to get there very badly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And my wife loves it. So actually, my mom, I feel sometimes likes my wife better than she likes me. And when she goes there, he's like, Lauren, what do you want? Lauren, what do you want? So you're welcome anytime you want to come.
I'll definitely let you know about that, Diego. Sure. But I really appreciate you coming on today. This was really, really great. We certainly appreciate the relationship that we have with Arenson at the Advanced Group. So looking forward to more projects in the future and continued success and innovation.
Oh, absolutely. We're learning new things every day.
That's correct.
We like to take things from different industries and apply to whatever our clients' needs are. So we're just looking forward to the future.
Yep, sky's the limit.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we're looking forward to the next episode of Moving into the Future. Bye.
Be sure to subscribe to our podcast at theadvancedgrp.com. That's theadvancedgrp.com.